Do 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 do. Let's do that in Glow. And then normal text. Okay. Ugh. I ate way too much. What's going on? Alright. Give me a couple seconds. Alright. Yo, people. Alright, 2 viewers. Wow. Holy shit. Say hi in chat. I should be in there now. Yeah. Now I'm loaded in. So, yeah. I'm here, hanging out, having fun. Sorry, I'm just getting my stuff around. Okay, so there is... Oh, yep. And let me edit the extension real quick. So that way I can get the right group's character sheets, well, characters, up on the overlay. Un momento. Rejected potential. Oh man, 2 bean burgers. I'm full. Okay, so that's been saved. That should now be updated. So let's see. There we go. Yep, there. And you can see their health. Ah, that was a fun time. Gotta love dealing with monkeys. That's Lake, that's that is that. And now I should be able to see all these creatures now that I have the monsters guide. Yep.
Hello.
Yo! Is that you, Zaya? Yes, it is. Okay.
Yep.
Your voice sounded a little more high pitched than normal, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing. So.
Is it my mic or just?
You've got a little bit of static in the background again, but it's not terrible. But yeah, it sounds like your mic is like picking up your voice more clearly than usual.
Yeah, let's see if I can fix that then.
No, hey, it's no problem. I mean, it sounds fine. It's just the fact that you're sound more like a God. How do I say this nowadays without being sexist or an asshole anymore? You sound more like an actual gal rather than a young boy. Does that help?
I don't know what it could be.
It just sounds
Except
like
just my voice.
your mic is picking up more. And hi, Dolkin.
Hello.
The only person in the group who's only referred to as his character. Oh, God.
FYI, I have about 2 hours.
You have about 2 hours, hockey-wise?
Yep.
Ah, well, tell them that they're gonna have to wait. You're gonna get your ass kicked
Planning
today.
to almost die again tonight, Dulkin?
If the opportunity arises.
That was the reason why he wanted to get out of the game early. Oh, man.
Yes.
Well, Dolkin, if you're really wanting to die, there's this thing called the bag of chocolates or bag of possibilities, which is a bag of chocolates that if you can find it somewhere in the world, then you will be very well off to die quickly, as it has probably killed more players than any monster or in any dungeon I've designed.
Or just piss off a god.
Well, let's see. It damn near killed Torin. It killed Tren's character, Mizna, as well as caused a psychological break in Welf, which was Wolf's first character, his orc. Almost led to the complete TPK of the party after a bees incident. Yeah. That bag of chocolates, for something that the most damage it can do is like 2 points worth of damage to you, has damn near killed or broken every player that's ever had it. So yeah. And Fraz got it for John Doe as a random character piece of equipment starter. And the first thing he did was go and try to sell the damn thing. It was so sad. Oh man. But yeah. So Dulkin, who are you guys playing against tonight?
Tav on the Ave.
Ah, fair enough. Now, are these bar teams specifically, or?
It's basically whoever buys the jerseys.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We got Press Box, we got Coliseum, we got Clubbers, we got Tav on the Ave, we got Scotty's, we got Sully's. Scotty's, to be fair, is an auto shop. So
Oh, okay. Well,
all the other ones are bars.
Of course, man. God damn it. For those who tune into this stuff or are new to the channel, Dulkin plays hockey drunk. So that's his like go-to thing on a Sunday. So man, that's awesome though. So I gotta ask, why drinking in hockey? Why not like pool? You know, like billiards or something?
I've played hockey since I was like 2 or 3 years old.
Oh, fair enough then.
It's part of my life.
Okay. Because I always imagine when I think drinking with a sport is like, yeah, pool and a pool hall. So, but
He is
fair enough.
part hockey stick.
Well, you know, I think Dulkin's actually secretly Canadian. We just don't know it. And,
You would not be the first person to think I'm Canadian.
well, I mean, given the fact of the state you live in, you're close enough to be a border jumper. So, you know, you could be.
Yeah.
To be fair, I am also close enough to jump the border.
Yeah, but you don't drink and play hockey.
No, I'm underage and I'm not good at sports.
Well, you know, you don't have to be good at sports to be able to drink and play a sport. Actually, in fact, it's usually better if you're not good at the sport because you get better as you drink. At least that's what high school wrestling taught me. Yeah. Out of my 140 matches in high school, I think 3 I won at my weight class. I won when I was completely drunk because I couldn't feel pain.
Do you think they could tell you were drunk?
My coaches could. They were very upset about, and I paid for it the entire way back. And the next day at practice, because they always made sure that the day after we had a late meet, we had a 5 a.m. practice of sprints, and fucked it. There's nothing worse than doing wind sprints hungover at 215 pounds. As a freshman in high school.
How do you even stay up on your feet?
Hungover?
Phil,
Not.
I can't hear you.
Oh, Phil, you'll
Turn
need.
my volume up.
Yeah, you'll have to turn up your mic. I've got you all the way up.
I do too, but
Yeah,
I'm having trouble hearing them.
as far as it goes, being hungover, it was difficult. My parents never knew. They never figured out. But then again, my parents never knew that I used to skip class constantly either. So, the only reason my coaches actually ever found out, and this is a interesting story for it, is the hangover the next morning at one of our running practices. I usually when I run I put headphones in, and back in the day we didn't have the cordless headphones. So I had these really cheap Skull Candies when Skull Candy first came out. And the little suction cup things that you put on to size to your ear, one of them fell off and got stuck in my ear, and my coach had to go and get tweezers to pull it out, and I was freaking out thinking I was going to die because I was still a little buzzed. So, yeah, and after that, my coaches realized I drink when I wrestle, so, because it's just, you can't, as a fat guy, wear a singlet and be okay with it, and drinking was my way of coping. That and the fact that I had shitty grades. So,
Oh man, I'm sorry.
yeah,
By
well,
the way, is my microphone any better?
you're
Is there
still
enough
pretty
volume?
quiet. Yeah, you turn it up as high as you can,
Yeah.
Alright, I will.
because we can, like, turn you
How's
down.
that?
No difference.
It might be
It sounds like you're very far away from your mic to me, or like it's
I-
muffled under something.
I promise I'm very close to it. Hold on, I'll restart my computer. That
Oh.
should make it work better.
Alright, well, we gotta wake it on Cameron anyway, so.
Yeah.
My
Maybe I should
text
spam
Cameron.
with calls.
Yeah.
Just spam with calls.
Tell him the DM is gonna kill his Crimson Shield. That'll get him in here quickly. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna tell you. So Dolkin, are you much of a rum drinker?
I have drank rum before, yes.
So I don't know if Eastside Distillery exists out towards your area, but if there is one, I recommend their coffee rum. It's called Hugh Hugh, and it's got a very good, like, if you like black coffee, or basically coffee with no taste, it's got a nice smooth texture to it, and it's actually a pretty high percent. It's got a 35% with 70 proof, and it tastes really good in like normal coffee. Anything, as long as you don't drink sweet coffee, because I don't think the bitterness to the rum would mix well. But yeah.
I don't drink any coffee, so.
Wait, what? You're telling me you're an IT graduate and you don't drink coffee?
Nope.
Holy shit. I didn't know Satan existed anymore. Who did
What?
you make a deal with, man? Because goddamn.
Oh, who says oh Bork?
What?
Cameron, I sent him
Oh.
a message and Cameron says oh Bork. I'll be there in a second.
He's
Who says?
he was probably autocorrected. But wait, no,
Yeah,
we
I
gotta
was
get
gonna
back to
say.
this. There's an issue here, Dolkin. Alright, I studied programming. I know for a fact there aren't any such thing as people who work in software that don't drink coffee. What the hell is your secret, buddy?
Maybe he's allergic to alcohol.
Alcohol has nothing to do with coffee.
Oh wait, oh sorry, coffee. I didn't sleep good last night.
I can tell.
Yeah.
But Dolkin, no, we've got to figure this out. I want to know, what's your secret?
I just don't drink it.
That's not a secret.
I know, it's not that difficult.
How the fuck did you make it through 4 years of university without drinking coffee?
One day at a time.
Your classes must have been like lacking in stress.
I just don't worry about that shit.
Wait, so I'm gonna guess you never pulled an all-nighter studying then?
No.
Okay, that answers it better. Probably got better time management.
Bjork.
Why'd you say Bork, Cameron?
I'm trying to be nice and censor myself more.
Since when have you ever censored yourself?
Since when did anybody say you were nice?
I still have that nice small cast iron
Did
skillet I can chuck at your
Fell
head,
break
DM.
their mic?
No, Fell's fine.
I fixed it. Am I
yay,
any
I
better?
can hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're much clearer. You're like
Sorry.
normal now.
Hi.
I have a kitty that's deciding that they want to play D&D, so they are attacking.
Cameron.
You can call attacks.
Shh. God damn it. No, and Cameron, you throw that iron skillet at me, it's gonna go where the sun don't shine, buddy. And don't think for a second it won't. I can pin you down. I've got 100 pounds on you, buddy. And probably more muscle mass than you have in your entire body.
I
So,
don't know, I've thrown
He's
some of
already
these
a
weights
clubfoot.
twice my
Don't
weight,
cripple him
so-
anymore.
oh, he'll have a good walk after that. He won't be walking with a limp by the time I'm done with that iron skillet. Although he might walk like a cowboy a bit. I can't deny that. But there's a whole like community now dedicated to that, so you'll be all right.
Yeehaw.
Dedicated to cowboy walking?
Yeah, look it up. That's a whole thing. Being a
Cameron, you
cowboy
better get some
is.
chaps.
Please no. I don't know. Let's not. No.
Assless ones.
No. I have seen too many of those here in
God.
Portland. No. Unfortunately, no one ever wears anything
Wait.
under them. No.
Is that even legal to go out in public
Yes.
like that?
Because they actually make assless chaps that like act like a thong or a speedo, and technically it's considered, as long as it's covering
As long as
Sexual
the sphincter is covered, you're fine.
as long as it covers sexual genitalia, you're technically it's legal, so you can walk around.
So you can moon people, but as long as your junk's covered, it's fine.
Yeah, you just have to
Yep.
be shown that you're wearing a speedo, at least as a guy.
What?
And as a woman, as long as you have stickies over your nipples.
Yeah, which is funny because I've got bigger boobs than half the chicks I see out that try to walk shirtless, so I don't think that's fair.
Huh. I don't
Yeah.
think that'll ever
What,
happen
DM,
around
do you
where
wanna
I'm
wear-
at.
Do DM, do you want to wear stickies over your nipples? And
Yes, damn it, but they just don't make them in my size anymore, okay?
You just got giant sticky notes.
No,
No.
they're technically called pasties, but I call
Yeah.
them stickies because it's like a big sticker.
See, I've got the
I
ones
know
that I
what
got.
It is. I was making a joke.
Whoa, wait,
Cameron.
Zaya, why do you know these things? You are too little and
Yeah,
innocent, damn it.
The
that
internet, the
worries
same
me.
reason I know what you added me at in meme chat was before even looking at the video, because the internet's told me.
You know,
Why?
the saddest thing is,
I'm a...
I've watched that entire series just to prove I could do it. It was so
I
bad.
mean,
Oh god. I like.
I-
think I saw a
I
YouTube
also take
reaction
some of the
to
blame
it
for
years
her
ago.
knowing what Boku no Pico is because I warned her about that.
No, that's no
Yeah.
fun.
I think I
Oh.
also
Hey,
saw
hey,
like years ago
One of my
a YouTube reaction, and that was enough.
An ex-girlfriend of mine tried to get me to watch it. And I figured out what it was in the first 5 seconds, and I'm like, no,
You're just,
fuck
that's
that. You're not getting me.
no, that's boring. Okay, there we go. That's better. I'm actually gonna use. Where is it?
And then I showed her a different hentai that was.
That's
worse.
nope. I don't
What
want to
did-
know that.
What?
I did not
You'll
need to
never
know
know.
that.
I don't want to talk about that here either.
Wait,
I
are you
have-
talking about me or your ex-girlfriend?
My ex-girlfriend. You actually met
Okay.
this one, Maya.
Is that the one from New York that we're talking about? The invisible girlfriend that Cameron's been claiming for like
Wait.
2 years? Oh yes,
She's
we've
not
never
invisible.
forgotten that, and we still give Cameron shit for that.
She's real. Don't start that shit.
Uh-huh. I just have a
She's
hard
actually
time
strange.
believing that a rich woman would be interested. That's my only thing, Cameron. Like normal, sure, I can understand that. Whatever, you know. Maybe you've got
Yeah.
charms I don't know. What?
DM.
You
sugar
don't know
mommies.
what charms I have.
It's called sugar mommies.
Yeah, but Cameron, there's no way Cameron is good looking enough to pull that. I'm sorry. And I know he
Or, so he fits the
he is-
criteria.
he is definitely not charismatic enough to pull that. No.
I can be very charismatic when I want to be.
Yeah. Guys
I
who
just
say that
choose
mean
not
that.
to be.
Yeah, guys who say they're talking out their ass. All right, that's like saying I can be a nice person. Yeah, when I want to be. Yeah, that's bullshit. I'm just saying that to get out of the
That is bullshit
situation.
when you say so.
No, I don't believe it for a second, Cameron. There's no way you pulled a sugar mama. I don't know what you
Well,
look
yeah,
like,
I didn't
but
pull a
I.
sugar mama.
If she's rich, you pulled. That's technically what you're getting.
No, because if I was getting that, I'd be getting paid every week.
Nope,
and no,
not
I'm
necessarily. Technically, that's a more common modern day concept of it. The actual traditional design of the whole situation was just more that you end up in a relationship with someone who's wealthy and pays for the dates and shit, and takes care of you. So theoretically, if
Yeah,
she
no, she's not taking care of me in any fucking way right now. So
right now, keyword right there. See,
nor would I
no,
ever expect her to.
no, I don't believe it.
Are you taking care of her then?
I hope so. If she's got that much money.
I mean, I've had to get a hold of people to make sure that she didn't just go throw herself off a goddamn bridge, if that's what you mean.
Oh, that's dark. How would
Yeah.
someone get
Oh.
suicidal if they're rich? I don't get that. You're rich. You're white. Smile.
One, she's not white, so.
She's still rich. That's enough reason to smile. All right.
Two,
Motherfucker.
she didn't have access to all that money until she's 18. It was left to her by her grandfather.
Oh no, cry me a river. You gotta wait a few years. Fucking goddamn. That means you're
A few
gonna.
months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Until she's
Wait.
18,
Wait.
what's the
Wait
age
a second
limit?
here. Wait. Oh wait, no. Cameron's. I forgot. Young. He's the baby of the group. Never mind. All right, we're good.
I'm 20. She was 17. She turned 18. Let's see, the 3rd of.
You might want to stop talking as if this
Baby
is
of the
recording.
group.
That's technically
Topic change.
yeah, that can get you in a lot of legal trouble. For those wondering, it's 2 years is the legal thing. You can start if you start dating someone when you turn 17 and they are 2 years younger than you. You can continue to date them as long as you are only 2 years apart and legally there's no issue. However, if it's over 2 years, that is an actual legal
I
issue.
was dating her when I was 19 and she was 17. So
Why
there
do you
has been
know
no
this
issue.
information?
Because I had to take a legal studies class, and one of the cases we were dealing with was a student from my high school, like from 10 years back, that had to deal with something like that.
Okay, I had me worried there for a second, buddy.
No, we also
I did it
discussed.
all legally and fairly. Don't.
Oh, I don't
Be
believe that.
freed.
But we
What?
also
What?
discussed the whole situation about a guy, the legal issue with a guy who accidentally shot his friend with a shotgun, at my school. There's a joke with the kids from 2012 that graduated from Reynolds is we were the first group to graduate without anybody shooting each other or anybody dying in the last 20 years of that school. And then, no joke, a week later, 2 people died in a motorcycle accident from the graduating class. It was just the saddest damn thing. So
What
yeah.
kind of school are you
That's
going
karma
to?
from
You
bragging.
ever seen that anime about the one where they try to ignore some person in their class, otherwise they end up all getting killed, like Final Destination style? I think one of the first starting scenes is some girl gets impaled by her umbrella going downstairs.
I've
Oh, I
seen
watched
clips of that,
that.
and it's terrible.
Yeah,
I
so
cringed at that.
imagine an entire high school like that, and then you've got what I'm talking about.
Some
So
kind of curse.
our high school, well, I mean, the high school was known for gang violence and all that, so a lot of
Oh.
issues. Yeah, commonly where I graduated from, you had one of 2 choices career path. It was either military or prison. And you pretty much knew what you were gonna go by the time you made it to graduation, if you graduated. So yeah, I don't know why I'm still playing with my little bottle of rum.
Because you want to drink it.
No, actually, I'm good. I don't like to day drink if I can help it. Also, I'm still waiting to see if I can get a date with this one gal at some point before the end of the day, since I was able to finally knock out some homework that my teacher's an asshole for. Never study finance. Just trust me, it sucks. Don't study accounting either, it's even worse. For those in the younger audiences. Do what
Good
Dolkin
luck.
did. Don't drink coffee in college and study IT. Ask him for time management skills. I guarantee he'll give you some ideas. Ain't that right,
I
Dolkin?
have to worry about time management already, and not just my own. Damn it.
Okay then. Alright, shall we start?
Sure.
Everyone's
not?
still here, I assume. Dolkin, you're quiet?
Mhm.
Okay, I want to make sure. You ignored my
Vulcan's
comment.
just listening because he understands the chaos that's about to ensue.
So 2 hours, so okay, I got you. Alright, last time we left off with the game, the group managed to capture and beat the living hell out of the torture an poor innocent child, who was supposedly
That was no child. That was a gnome-sized freaking cat.
who was related to Dibus, and to which the party decided to run away. I'm just giving a very overall generalization. Dolkin decided to try to make an ultimate sacrifice, throwing out all of my campaign notes that took me like a week to write. And managed to get a very lucky roll in which I would have been so pissed if it hadn't come out the way it did. In the case that he managed to survive with 1 health and losing all of his divinity. He is now basically a glorified fighter, kind of like how Venzorwin is in every game. Otherwise, the party would then retreat to a small village along the coast that, from what was seen, was a village full of tieflings and was eerily quiet last time we left off. So as the party finally makes it, with Dolkin still leaning on Venzorwin's very tall frame, being kind of, in a sense, carried to the town itself. The town seems overall peaceful, very quiet. Venzorwin continues to mutter to himself while he's still a little bitch, and we, as far as it goes, you can smell the sea salt on the air. The villagers seem to be about their business, not really even noticing you of anything, and there seems to be no sounds of wildlife at all around you as you get closer to this village. An eerie fog is still somewhat around the area, but this seems to be actually natural due to the sea coast. And from where you're standing, you can actually see off in the far distance some giant island that seems to stretch on into the horizon. What would you like to do?
First, let's get this jackass to a healer.
Well, we should
isn't
roll a
me.
perception check to make sure there's no threats.
Depends on
There
your.
were threats.
Can I
If
roll
there
a
were
perception
threats, they
check?
would already be on us.
All right, go ahead,
There's
Zaya.
no guarantee. Let me get my roll.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Says the guy
It's
who
a 4.
has died more
I was
often
so
than anybody
close
else.
to a 20, but it's a 4. So
All right. Looking about, the village seems overall very peaceful. It seems like a simple fishing village where you can see boats coming in and out as you continue walking closer and closer. The smell of a very strong and very recent catch is wafting in the air. As it seems that the overall fishing market seems to be a little more lively off in the distance at the center of the village. You can also see just past the market seems to be a small church to which you don't really recognize the symbol given the fact that it's kind of hard to make out from the distance you are. The village seems to be pretty large. You'd guess around maybe a population of 200, roughly. And seems to be, from what you can see, mostly tieflings walking about. Some with different colored skin, some wearing symbols on their chest, while others not, and so forth.
I don't see any guards, do I? With my bad perception
You can
check.
see a few guards milling about. Well, at least some people that are dressed in more fully dressed in armor, and carrying weapons around with them. But it doesn't look like they're really patrolling or doing anything.
There, are you happy? You looked around the town. Does it look safe?
I still say we
Highness.
stay on alert while we enter. This place has taught us that there's danger around.
Yeah, when there was a furry little bitch that isn't
And
kind.
the person who hired her to kill me and Dalkin, they're probably in this area. They're in this country, probably. So I
Who do
say
you
we stay
think would
still on
want to
alert.
kill you?
Whoever killed my cousin, maybe. Whoever doesn't like my family and wants to ensure all the heirs are
There's
dead.
a lot of
Whoever
people
just
that don't like
doesn't
your
like
fucking family.
Dalkin, I don't know.
What kind
Why?
of
There
enemies
are
are
a
you
lot of
guys
people-
making?
Hold on. Let me clear
Everybody
something
wants
up.
a piece of me.
That's true. You're delicious to most people.
Yeah, why
Excuse
would
me.
they
is
want
that
Whoa!
me?
a dead?
We have a love triangle, people. We have a new ship. Please feel
I
free to
didn't know
draw
you
the
were
artwork.
gay.
Poor
The Derwin
Dulkins.
swings always.
Anyone here into polygamy?
Poor Dulkins on the brink of death while Ven is trying to make the move on him.
Anyways, there are a lot of people that don't like the Silver Song or any version of the Tiefling. So don't give yourself so much credit.
Yeah,
Now,
gee,
let's get
thanks.
this-
I feel so much better.
Let's get this dwarf to some help, and hope to God someone here can actually break the curse and mend his shit. Otherwise, we're all gonna be in a deep pile of shit.
I will mention,
Let's go.
Dulkin, just as a reminder in case you did forget, your armor is still pretty much shattered.
Yep.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're taking him back to his grandfather and letting him beat the curse out of him,
All right.
which is gonna cost us time.
So what's the plan? Are you guys heading into the village?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going there, and I have a feeling it's who's following me, and because I'm carrying Tolkien and
Yeah,
helping me carry the armor bits.
it's sad you can't carry your girlfriend. You
Um,
actually have to carry your broken friend who almost took the blow for you. Yes, Saya?
I'm said I'm gonna follow from behind and just keep an eye out, I guess, while we
Okay.
enter the village.
So as you guys
Stop
And
checking
enter,
also
out
look for
Dolkin's
a
ass.
potential. While we're entering, look for a potential inn we could stay at for the night, because I'm pretty sure most of us need long rests.
okay.
I
So-
only need to sleep for 4 hours.
So as you enter into the
Else.
village, walking about, some of the most of the tieflings don't seem to really give you any mind. Zaya, remind me, you don't wear any of your noble sigils, correct?
I have a necklace that has a raven, the raven head,
Uh-huh.
raven head, but I don't know if that's the exact crest of my family.
Are you
It's m-
wearing it predominantly, or is it hidden?
It's like a choker situation, like a
Oh, okay, I
banded
got you.
necklace, so
Yes, I know what a
it's
choker
probably
is.
sticking out.
I've
Yeah.
I've dated enough women that wear chokers. Yes, it's pretty predominant. All right, got ya. So
Yeah,
as you
they'll see it.
So as you continue walking through the village, overall it seems like most of the guards seem to eye you for a bit, but really don't pay much attention as they continue to go about their business. It seems like overall the village is rather peaceful. Again, you start to see a few symbols on a few more well dressed tieflings, but nothing that immediately catches your eye as a problem. No one seems to be outright hostile or like glaring at you. Making it through the main portion of the market, there are all strange sorts of fish that most of you, other than Ven, haven't really and Zaya have never really seen. A few of them seem to be a little bit more demonic looking. Some with
I point to
horns.
the ugliest fish and say, "That one was delicious once."
As you point out to a fish, you point to what is known as the dwarf's bane fish. It was named after the noble noble tiefling house that managed to cut down one that was about the size of a small city. They're supposedly very poisonous to just about anybody, and have been known to kill a man who has consumed it within a few seconds.
You should try to eat it.
You have quite an interesting
have.
taste, Ven.
Walking about, so the merchants keep shouting out. You can hear the small sounds of a hammer off in the distance. People clinging drinks. Off in the distance, a tavern seems to come to eye as you notice that it seems to have a on the symbol on the piece of wood outside its door as you're walking past it, a beard, just a drawing of what looks to be the lower face of a chin and a very long beard with a massive slash through it. Continuing on past that. You finally come
You
into
see a church
distance
with a
of the
torch.
church. The church sitting there, or the church in front of you, you realize is simply to Calthun himself, as it seems to give off most of the glass being made of purple and depicting a giant squid-like creature taking on what looks to be a giant red, very angry human.
I'm
As-
gonna just be rubbing my forehead a little bit with my one free arm and be like, "I swear to God, I see more about this god at the point in
Are we
picture."
sure this is a good idea? Isn't
It's our only
Cal-
option
he-
right now.
he was cursed
wanna
by
drag
someone
him
who
around?
followed Calthun?
No, he was cursed by Calthun's vestige that hit him, so we're just gonna have to trust that they might be able to break it.
I say we still
Otherwise-
remain on alert.
okay.
Otherwise, you can drag his happy ass to the next town.
Did I
So
hear a forge?
yes,
You said hammers banging.
yeah, you can hear one off in the distance. It sounds like it was back
We-
on the other side of the market, closer to the
We should have
ocean.
went to the forge. I can fix my armor.
Yeah, we're more
Oh,
worried about
buddy.
fixing your
Yeah.
face.
Also, DM, are they speaking in Infernal or Common? All the merchants and people talking.
Most are speaking in Infernal. There aren't many. In
Oh,
fact, you
gosh.
don't see anybody around that is of any other race other than Tiefling right now.
Am I gonna have to play
Since everyone's-
translator?
Listen, everyone speak
I
Infernal is
speak
what I was about
Infernal
to say.
too.
Okay, so me and it two are fine, but
Standing in front
Even-
of the church, the door is made of what looks to be a very deep purple wood. And it seems to be that there is some sort of priest inside currently talking, but the church overall, from what you can see, looks empty inside. Otherwise,
Let's go talk to the priest, I guess.
okay.
as you open the door, it creaks open as it sounds like the hinges have never been oiled with a loud, cringing noise. The man turns. He's dressed in purple robes with a massive eye
I
on the
speak
center.
Infernal. Good news.
Oh, good.
Okay,
starts to
I think it's just
speak-
Dulkin.
Seeing the group, he starts to speak in common with the variety. He goes, Kelthun's blessing upon you. How may I help you this day?
I don't think it's a
Um,
blessing.
Right now, we have a bit of an issue with Calthun, but that's because one of his little avatars decided to blow
you-
herself up and get this one cursed.
You would come into a church to the Almighty and debauch his name in front of a man of his worship and not expect issues. You are either very
I'm-
brave or very stupid.
Right now, I'm
You're
very
right.
tired.
I'm sorry, sir. One of my compatriots are injured and not thinking right, and I gestured to Dulkin and his big forehead scar, and the other one isn't the
stops
best
you,
with
puts his hand up.
words.
And looks at you, says, "A lady of House Silversong, correct?
Yes.
I'll see to your friend immediately. Bring him into the back." As he ushers a
Thank
few
you.
men coming in, opens one of the back doors that leads into what looks to be a small room where some minor patients are taken into, and you can see a few people in the back areas, just with some simple injuries. As you bring Dulkin into the back, the man sits Dulkin down and starts staring into Dulkin's eyes and says, Hi, I can see you were attacked by one of the dwarf Spain assassins as he looks, kind of eyes up Dolkin's markings on his face. And by the smell
Yeah,
of you, you've lost your
kinda rude.
divinity.
Is that what that is? It smells like fire.
No, that would be Calthoun's curse. Typically, assassins of
I
House
should not be.
Dwarfbane love to hunt dwarfs. Looks like you're a special case. You didn't die, as he looks you up and down. I can fix this, but we do have a problem, of course.
Yes.
Well, he looks back at Zaya and says, I'm not supposed to help rebels. I'm gonna be honest here. And I'm not so stupid and unexperienced to know that you're part of the game, Zaya.
What do you mean, rebels?
The New Hope. I know who you are. Before I was a priest, I served under House Verencia Ka, one of the 7 major clans, just like your own. Well, better than your own, really. Anyways, he looks Dolkin up and down and says, I'll need some ointment. If you can catch me a maw demon, I should be able to make something from it. And that should cure your friend's injury here. As far as your divinity, young dwarf, I'm sorry to say I won't be able to get you that back. You might have to go and speak with your deity or a representative once again to gain your powers back.
Sure, I'll just call him up on the old message spell.
You know, that's how I hear they do it these days. As he starts
Oh,
to
that's
kind of
right. I don't have magic.
he starts
I mean,
he starts to rub a solvent on your face of this weird blue liquid that smells of a mix of lavender and what you can only guess is the guts of some animal.
Ugh.
As the
Would-
scars kind of dissipate a little bit and your HP is now you can finally gain back your HP luckily enough.
would fixing his holy symbol perhaps help? Because I know that was broken in the blast.
Theoretically it might. I don't know much about the god he follows. I don't recognize that symbol.
I'm gonna look at the symbol and be like, okay, let me try this. Mending.
It does
Well,
nothing.
that
I'll work.
would've-
Well,
could mend his armor.
No, I'll fix it myself.
if I did that, he might actually hit me with a hammer. He might miss, but he'll try.
He... One sec, what the hell? Yeah, okay. The priest looks back at Dolkin and says, well, I've negated the curse temporarily. This should help. It's not a perfect solvent. So if you can find either the guts of a maw demon or, bring me a fresh kill, I should be able
A
to cure
demon?
you. Yes. There's been plenty of them around here recently, ever since the mainland has fallen. He continues
Ooh.
to rub Dolkin's face, almost slightly caressing it.
If
Do you
we
know
get-
a good place to go to hunt one?
Yeah, the mainland. I hear your organization's getting ready to head over there soon. In fact, from what I understand, there's supposed to be a meeting at the tavern later tonight.
Well, thanks for the information. I apologize for my
Yes.
rudeness before.
Oh, it's alright. You're a servant of Logalthus. That's expected. You lot are degenerates anyways, as he continues to
I
eye Dolkin
accept
up and
that.
down.
I accept
How
that.
much-
It's not my choosing, and I don't really care for my god either. Kind of got
How much
blackmailed by
payment do
this.
we owe you for healing, my friend?
He looks at Dolkin and he says, well, the boy could convert. That'd be payment enough. I assume you're not interested in serving a god of destruction,
You mean
given...
the god who cursed me?
Yeah! I hear if you serve him, they usually stop cursing you. I might be wrong on that.
no, some gods will still curse you, just they won't let it actually hurt you.
Yeah, they call it infidelity, and you seem very familiar with it. He looks Dolkin up
Alright.
and down. My recommendation to you, bring me the Maw Demon, we'll call it even. If I don't have to kill the damn thing, I don't mind creating the solve. It's part of my duty. As far as your god, young dwarf, the Tabaxi are the only ones that I know of that worship anything close to it or might have a shrine. He looks to you and says, "I
Another stop on the goddamn route.
I assume you're a servant of the Church of Adventurers, or are you a Church of Abilities servant?"
I think it's abilities. No, adventure.
If it's adventure, he looks at you and says, "Yes, then the Tabaxi lands will be where you need to go. If you serve of ability, you'll be heading to the Goliath Island of Rufio. Good luck there. I don't know what kind of
Question.
churches they run there." "Yes." He
Okay,
turns
I
to
remember
Ven.
my mission's supposed to be to go to a burning tree and get its fruit.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask him about that.
Alright, what are you gonna ask him?
Would you happen to know exactly where a tree with a burning tree that kills all that goes near it would be?
Like she says, poisonous trees. The only thing I know have heard of is the ones in the Dragonborn lands and the Dark Elf lands.
Thanks.
You're welcome. If you're looking for something on that, I'd meet up. There's a book salesman in the market. He might have more information. I'm not as well versed on biology or botany. But yes, to answer your questions, Aya Silversong, please bring me a Maw Demon's corpse, and it doesn't matter how old it is, to be honest, and I should be able to fix up this nasty scar, unless you enjoy being scarred. The curse I cannot lift, I'll be honest, but if you want the burn mark of your flesh being cured, that's the only way I can do it.
Oh wait, this is just to get rid of the scar, not the curse.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
I
To
think
get
your scar looks cool.
to get rid of your curse, this loss of your god, you'll have to speak with your god themselves.
Okay.
And I don't know many temples in these parts that, well, actually, young Zaya, your great ancestor, Bletton,
Yes.
I forget his name off the top of my head. Anyways,
The Bloodied.
yes, that man. There supposedly was a church that he left as part of, in the colonies, being where you are now, to the far south, right on the border. So you might not have to actually go more than a few days' travel south to find this temple.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. However, I will warn, these roads these days haven't been very well off ever since those damn Rakshasa decided to invade the mainland. Ugh. Nasty little bastards.
Indeed.
Those things also hate me, so that's another addition to worry about. Oh god, everything fucking hates me.
The priest looks to Dolkin and says, and kind of just nods along to what Van Zoran's saying. Alright. Well, you're welcome around town. I would recommend your young dwarven friend here avoid any members that serve under House Dwarfbane. Given the name, you can imagine their aptitude towards dwarves. Otherwise, if there's nothing else, I have a sermon here in a few hours that I must prepare for.
Again,
Are there
thank you.
rooms available here in the village that we could stay for the night?
Did you pass the inn with the crossed beard?
Yes.
That would be the only place I could think of, unless you're trying to attack one of the villagers. Good. Not like your nobility hasn't done it before.
I can confirm that your grandfather was a bit of a dick.
And if you'll have nothing else, he kind of starts to shoo you out.
Yep. Let's go.
I help carry the bits of Dolkin's armor now that he can walk on his own a bit.
Alright. So, what's the plan?
Well, we gotta
Well-
either get the
We need to
book
get him to a forge.
for the
We need to
tree.
talk. I need to talk to the guy for the bookseller.
I have to meet
So-
with New Hope, and we have to get a room at the inn.
Well, two of those things are in the same area.
There's a meeting at the tavern, didn't he say?
Yeah, that's where the
For my
Mm.
organization, yes.
yeah. So we
Me-
can go get a room there and do that at the same time.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can take Dolkin to the forge, and and it two can come with me to talk to the botanist.
Are we certain we want to split up?
I think it's okay. I don't think anybody's going to hurt us here in the
It
middle
seems
of
like
a
a
town
peaceful
in
enough
public.
town.
Well, this is a
Not to
very
mention, we're all a little
hostile
tired.
climate now.
It's hostile towards you and a dwarf. Sending you two off on your own might be dumb. So would you prefer it to take him to
Me,
the,
I
the
am
talking?
a tiefling.
Would you prefer the talking dog, the beautiful being that she is, walk Dolkin to the freaking
Aw.
forge?
I
and
can.
you come
I'm
with
just
me to the
saying
botanist?
we should
There
stay
we go.
within range.
We're
shouting
gonna be within
range.
screaming distance. Period. This is a
During
small town.
during all of this, Dolkin is just kind of grabbing all his armor pieces from people that are carrying him. He's walking towards the sound of the hammering.
Okay,
Oh
I'll
my
follow
God.
Dolkin to make sure he doesn't die or pass out and fall over or whatever.
I'm heading to the bookseller.
All right. So as the party splits up, leaving the church, you can hear the priest go back to reading through a book. Heading out, we'll start with Dolkin and Zaya walking through the village. It seems as you guys are walking through, many of the other tieflings, especially the ones more well dressed, seem to kind of give your grouping a wide berth. Zaya and Dolkin.
Yep.
Finally making it there after a few minutes, and the smell of this forge being pretty strong, even over the fish for a man like Dolkin who's spent most of his life in a forge. You come in to find a rundown shack made of really cheap wood, seemed to be barely holding together by what looks to be a few strings of rope, and what looks to be a very old and very ancient looking tiefling, long white hair down to his back,
Wait a minute.
a thick tail that sticks out, and a very small bit of scruff, as it's really hard for tieflings to grow much facial hair. He seems to be wearing what looks to be a dark black apron that's thicker, made of some sort of cloth that's a heavier set, and seems to be hammering away at some simple hooks and um, pieces of metal that you don't quite recognize.
Hello, Smith.
He doesn't even look up. He goes, I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Can I borrow your forge?
As he continues to hammer away at something, and then grabs the tongs, picks up the giant fish hook, and sets it into what looks to be some sort of vat of something. As it sizzles, takes it out and sets it down. All right, what can I help you with?
Can I just borrow your equipment?
Ah,
As I just plop down my pile of bits.
yeah, I'm gonna let a dwarf just borrow whatever he needs. Some random dwarf walks into my shop and asks to borrow my smith. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Good laugh, kid. As he turns away and walks back.
Sir, we'll be willing to pay for your services, of course, for borrowing. We only need it but a moment. And can I make a persuasion check
Go ahead.
for once?
Yeah.
Finally, be a bard. Offer him payment.
Wink,
Okay.
wink, nudge,
Well,
nudge.
I was gonna say the way
Some
bards
private
offer
bard time.
payment is not persuasion typically.
12.
He turns and looks at you and says, "Now you listen here, young miss. I don't care if you're nobility or whatnot. A true smith does not let another man use his forge. Now, if you have a problem with this, you can take it up with the nobility. But given the fact that you're trying to hide your little choker there, I don't think you're looking to do that."
What if we paid you to fix it for him without him using your tools?
He looks
Oh, hey,
Dolkin
whoa,
up and
hey,
down and says,
whoa.
"He's not.
Dolkin, do you
He's a
want
dwarf.
armor or not?
He's a dwarf. They don't let anybody work on their armor. It's a personal thing. It's almost as sacred as a religion. Me
More
working on fixing up his armor would be the same as if I went in, or as him using my forge." And he goes, "But I'll tell you what, dwarf. You've taken good care of your stuff. You don't look like the bad sort. I'll let you use it in exchange that you take care of a quick problem for me once you're done."
I'll see what I can do.
Good
What
man.
problem?
As he kind of opens the little gate to let you through, Dolkin. The forge is very simple. It's a small, what looks to be hefty rock forge that he's made himself, made out of a black stone that just seems to be basically what looks like a Green Lantern's lantern base overall, and it opens up to a small little fiery pit that seems to never stop, and then a small anvil with a few tools. It seems it's very simple compared to what you're used to for back home, even as a lower income smith. And the man
It's a
looks
nice
at,
setup you have here.
he goes, well, it gets me through. It's not as great as the one I had back home, but we deal with what we got. I had to kill the man who was using it, so to be fair, it's not mine originally. Now, to you young one, the problem seems to be that I need to, well, my daughter's missing. Last time I saw her, she'd ran off with a damn book salesman, one of those learned types. I'm not too happy about it, 'cause the boy won't pay for her. So you bring my daughter back here, or at least find where she's at. Bring me back the information, and won't charge you for it.
Do you have any sort of lead? It was just the one person she ran off with, you think?
Well, my daughter's no harlot, thankfully. This is the first time she's ran off with a man. And the book salesman's supposed to be here in town, but every time I head to the market, he seems to vanish. It's the strangest thing. But
Do you
well,
know what kind of books he sells?
well, from what I understand, all the items he sells are cursed to all hell. Really good at killing people. Nothing he sells, not even his information, comes without a curse.
Uh-oh.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't buy much of his stuff, but the last guy who bought something from him bought a bit of information about an assassin, some tiny tabaxi girl. Man woke up the next day missing his tongue.
Hmm.
Or so goes the rumor. As Dolkin starts to hammer away. Dolkin, give me let's go with a strength and dexterity to see how well you do with this.
Checks.
Yep. Well, unless you're gonna let the anvil beat you, it's not a saving throw.
7 for dex, 13 for strength.
Alright. You managed to get your armor back up into working order. It's not pretty, after hammering at it for a little while, but it's functional again.
Or
You
enough
get-
for me.
Yep, you get the feeling you're gonna have to start reinforcing this with some metals that you've been collecting.
I
And
assume it's also just a normal chainmail now, and not the
Yeah.
one I had.
correct. It doesn't have the dark metal or dark iron you were working with last time, like on your shield. So yeah, as you continue to work away, the man seems to just kind of eye his eye up and down.
Can I insight him?
Sure. What are you trying to find
See
out?
why he's staring at me? I want to
Okay.
know if he's looking at me kind of like he just doesn't like my house, if he just doesn't like me, or maybe like he's looking like he's about to sell out information of my whereabouts to whoever tried to assassinate me.
All right.
Okay, let me see. That's 14.
From what you can tell, this man seems, as he's looking you up and down, it seems that he recognizes you for some reason.
I don't recognize him, do I?
I mean, he looks like an old tiefling. He looks like what you'd expect of he's pretty fit, so he looks like a traditional smith. Rather well built, very well kept as far as his body weight and walk. He doesn't seem like a traditional smith, whereas Dolkin kind of carries himself like a truly muscular man, a little heavier set, of course, as the joke goes, but kind of has the stronger, broader shoulders, and does tend to show scorch marks. This man doesn't seem to have any marks. His hands seem actually pretty smooth as you look him up and down. And his where, like I said, Dolkin seems to be a lot thicker around like both chest and shoulders. This man seems to be more of a simple athletic build.
He doesn't have any family crest on his person, does he?
Not that you see.
Hmm. Can I make an
Grandpapa?
Arcana check?
Sure.
See what kind of magic he uses, if any.
Mhm.
This is definitely interesting. 6.
He uses magic.
Oh boy.
While I'm smithing, I'll just strike up conversations with him, be like, how long have you been smithing around here? You said this wasn't
Around
you're
here,
not the original owner here.
Yeah, around here ended up landing here about 2 months ago, unfortunately.
Is that when you started smithing? You smith back at your home?
On occasion, not as often, at least not as often as you seem to.
Sir,
What'd
may
you
I
do?
ask what clan you're from?
Young lady, that is not polite to ask on a first meeting. At least offer to buy me dinner first. I've got a son that's about your age, if that's what you're asking.
That's not what I was asking. It was just curiosity, I suppose. I don't know how well the clans are. I've been out of the Tiefling lands for a while.
He looks at you and says, well, like your friend here, there ain't many clans left. Most of them have been pushed off the island, and those who weren't outright killed in the first wave most are scattered about. That's why you see a lot of the nobles around here. A lot of lesser sons, cousins, such is a shame. And he looks to Dolkin and says, you missed that here. Let me show you how to do this. And he takes the hammer from your hand, Dolkin. His hands are like baby smooth, Dolkin, as you notice as he starts to work on your armor a little bit.
What'd you do in your extra time that you weren't smithing back home?
He looks at you and smiles, says, as he hands you back the hammer, he goes, when I was a younger man, used to do a lot of fighting, fought on the front lines a lot, anything to get, the young vigor that we all have. Nowadays, I'm, well, let's just say a little more trained in intrigue and gossip. Yeah, the sadness of being old and all that.
One of them talking guys.
Nowadays, yes. When I was your age, well, I could cut down 4 or 5 men with ease, but he kind of rotates his wrist and says, "You get older, it just starts to catch up with you." All right. Any other things
How old did you say he looked, DM?
you'd guess him to be in his later life. Probably almost as old as your grandfather by the looks of him.
Huh. I don't know.
All right. Anything else from you, Dolkin?
I'll just make sure like my hammer, like my war hammer and my shield are also in decent
Sir,
shape.
Okay.
you are an information man, correct?
Youngling, you don't have enough money to pay for my gossip.
I just wanted to know if you knew when the meeting at the tavern was that I heard about.
That one. Well, it's pretty well known amongst the people around here. It's from what I understand later tonight.
I see.
Now, if you'll be excusing me, I expect information on my daughter before the end of the night, if you wouldn't mind. And if you
Yes.
see the books, that damn cursed booksman, if you could cut him down a few pegs, that'd be just right. As he goes back to working on his smith. And Dolkin, as you start to watch him, you notice the way he holds a hammer, whereas you're very much more of a strong hammer. You slam down on the metal, actually working it. This man seems to almost have a very light and gentle touch, yet the metal seems to move even more for him.
Maybe you should Arcana check him, Dulkin.
Probably not.
Dolkin, the smartest man in the room. All right. Moving on to the other group, Ven and E2. As you guys head out of the church and head off while watching Zaya and Dolkin take off in another direction, you come to the main portion of the market, where fish, small items, and trinkets are being sold. Simple stuff. One man seems to be sitting off to a corner of the market where it seems to be less populated and has a few what looks to be older leather-bound books just lying on the table. And he seems to be sitting there kind of in the shade with an umbrella above him, kind of just every once in a while licking his finger and turning a page in one of the books.
Well, I'm going to walk up to him and just directly ask him, have you ever heard of a burning tree that has fruit that'll kill anybody who comes to get its fruit?
Yes, I believe I dated a woman like that once.
Not what I meant.
He looks at you and says, "Well, I imagine you'd be looking to buy a book on something like that. They are the keys to the world." As he pops the cork on what looks to be a small little flask and drinks it. And then
Well-
suddenly
What
a
are you
beeping is
doing?
heard in the background as a small electrical spell lights off and a small heat wave goes off. Go ahead, Ben.
No, I'm looking for it for a specific reason. I have to go get some of the fruit from it.
It sounds like you'll be wanting a book even more then.
I don't tend on buying things from street vendors anymore. Last one I bought something from was cursed.
That's an unfortunate. Well,
Ben, you bought a cursed sword.
actually,
We don't talk about that.
every item he's bought has been cursed. He looks at
Yes.
you and says,
He fucking hates me right now.
well, I'll be honest. I don't sell information. I sell books. If you're not interested in buying a book, then I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I have
You can sell information just as well as you can sell a book.
no, I have a wife to pay for nowadays, unfortunately, and we have a child that we're expecting. So, as is,
I'll give you all the gold I have just for this bit of information.
how
Oh,
much gold are we
baby.
talking?
I got 15, that's all I got.
And he looks down at the dog as it speaks up and goes, "Oh no, a changeling."
Ben, why don't we have a baby?
The man looks at Ben with his eyebrows raised. So how much gold are
Wait.
we talking?
15, and I can throw in a nice sword.
15 gold pieces. That's all you're willing to offer me for information about a
That's all I've
deathly
got.
tree. That's unfortunate, young sir. As he looks you up and down with a sarcastic tone. I don't even think 15.
Sarcasm won't get you far.
I don't even think 15 gold would afford my cheapest book at this point.
I'm gonna pull out the Sword of Vengeance and be like, I could just use this and force you to tell me.
Not in public.
Instead, how about I offer it to
He's
you
gonna
for
call the
trade?
cops on you.
He looks at you and says, "Well, as you can see, as he points behind him, there are 2 guards. If you'd like, we can have a long discussion on this sword you have."
Oh, he's such a dumbass.
Uh,
I'm saying this about
Instead, I'd
Ben.
rather trade it to you for the information. It's worth more than what I've got.
I don't have an interest in swords. I'm a book salesman, but I'll buy the changeling off you, or I'll take the changeling in exchange.
Huh?
Their
She's
blood,
never for sale.
their blood's rather valuable.
So is immortal blood, and you're looking at one.
Yeah, I believe that, given your age. Yeah. Izzy kind of leans down and looks at E2 and starts to kind of grab her face and lift up her jowls to look at her to inspect her
put the
teeth.
sword. I draw the short sword. I draw the short sword that Itu has given me and put it on his wrist and be like, touch her again, you'll lose a hand.
As you do that, the 2 guards come forward, and you can sense that there are 2 more behind you.
Gentlemen, he touched something that's mine without asking. I have not touched one of his books.
The book
So he
salesman
should
looks.
not touch what is mine.
The book salesman looks back up at you and goes, "No need. I'm not interested. I'm not much of a fighter. I'll be honest. The changeling I'll take in exchange. It's got good teeth. It's in good condition. The blood. It's got fresh blood. And by the tale of it, it's already had 1 kid. Really unfortunate, but I can deal
Don't
with
talk
that."
about that in front of. Stop.
It looks
This
at
man's
E2 and
peeking
says,
into my personal life.
So will you be selling your slave here or not?"
She's not my slave, she's my wife.
A high elf who has a changeling for a wife. There's
Oh,
a
I'm
good joke.
blushing.
That's a good joke there, buddy. The only man stupid enough to do that would be that ancient fellow who decided to try and sleep.
Venzorowin,
Yeah, that fellow. The man who slept with
you're
a fellow
talking
general.
to him.
Yeah, sure. A man who's been dead for thousands of years. I believe you.
Oh, I so want to stab you because
Take
you
a deep breath.
children know nothing about the past. I fought in too many damn wars to be disrespected by it.
Now,
Thank
if
you,
you'll be on your way, I have business to be doing.
There's no use
Yeah.
in arguing.
No, you're right. Fools are fools. Let's go.
He just kind of watches as you walk away. The guards seem to put their swords back. You notice
I'm gonna flip him the bird as we walk away, because we're gonna walk towards the forge.
Man.
you notice that one of the guards did have a very brightly colored blue sword that seemed to shine as he had withdrawn it slightly. Heading towards the forge, you
I
find
want that sword now.
Zaya and Dulkin walking out. As the what looks to be a very ancient tiefling is sitting in what looks to be a very cheap shack that's barely holding together. It seems to be hammering away at something. Dulkin
Do
now
I
wearing his
recognize the
armor.
old tiefling?
Nope.
Damn. I'll give him a wave.
He
Ben.
doesn't even see you.
Ven, we need guys. We have a favor to owe the tiefling for letting Dulkin use his forge. There's a
Book-
vendor selling books in the market who's in information
Oh
that's
god, not that
cursed.
fucker again.
You met he's selling cursed.
Uh-oh.
His goods are cursed. Tell me you didn't buy anything.
So what? Let him
Tried
sell
to.
cursed goods.
Tried to.
He ran
Dick
off
tried to
with,
buy it too.
He ran off with the smith's daughter, and we need to know where her whereabouts are for him, or
Well,
bring
he
her
has
back.
four guards around. Well, they're engaged for one. They're married about, and they're on the way with a
Married.
child, as well as he has four guards around him. One with a very interesting sword that I'd like to get. But
You're certain
don't-
it's him? He was the only one selling books there?
yep, only one selling books.
He had an attitude.
Then we can't confront him. We have to follow him. We need to find where she's at.
No. He was fully open to going into a room with four guards and me. So why don't we just go into a room with four guards, me, you, and
That's
you?
not where it's not where the daughter's going to be. We need
No,
to
but we
find
kill the
her.
guards, and we can threaten it all out of him.
I do not want to go killing guards and getting us in legal trouble in this village.
They're not
They
they're personal guards, not city guards.
Are you
I don't
sure
know
about that?
this.
I'm as sure as I am old.
That's what worries me.
He's going
So-
senile with old age.
Not
Going
yet.
Insane.
But before we even try that, we all should probably rest.
Yes, and there's the meeting, but we do owe the smith a favor, so it's better we do this sooner rather than later.
Well, then, unless you
He
can
also
flex
said
it out of him, Miss
you'd like-
Royalty, then we might want to just hold. Then we might want to head there and do it now.
You said the bookseller was to the left or to the right? Because I'm just gonna start walking that direction.
We're
As you
just gonna
start
walk
walking in
I'ma
that
lead
general
him
direction,
there.
overall, heading over there, the man is still sitting there. It's about 3ish at this point. It's getting kind of later, in the day. And the man he's still sitting there, like flipping through another book. This one seems to be a little different this time. And
Hello,
I'll follow
bookman.
Dulkin, and I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna follow from a distance, but I'm gonna look at Venage and be like, "Stay here if he knows who you are." I'm betting Ven pissed him off.
I want to watch.
You wait. Well, don't make it obvious. And I'm gonna follow after Dulkin.
all right,
I'm just gonna pet it too.
the man continues to flip through the book as
bookman.
Dulkin and Zaya walk up to him, and looks up and says, "Ah, new customers. How may I help you?"
Actually, I'm looking for somebody. I was talking with the smith, and he said his daughter was lost, and he said he thinks she was last seen speaking with you, and I wonder if you have any idea.
For the
where she ran
last
off to.
time, tell that old man that it's not his daughter. And that is my wife, and she is pregnant with my child.
Oh,
Is the old man unstable then?
No, he's one of the elite nobility, and he ended up thinks he impregnated one of his maids, who happens to be my wife.
Mm.
The child is mine, but and he thinks, or he's hoping that on the off chance that it is his, he'd have an heir to his house as it's about to die out. His sons were killed in the
Oh.
battle during the first wave. Bastard came over here and kicked me out of my forge, and then tried to take my wife.
The forge is
Oh.
yours.
Yes.
oh yeah, that makes. This is gonna sound. Can I just see your hands quick?
He looks at you kind of weird and says, "Sure." As he holds out his hands, they're really rough and very corroded and calloused. You can see
See?
burn marks and cuts all over his hands.
And I like slap Zai on the shoulder, like, see, this makes way more sense.
We have a problem. If he's elite nobility and we don't do what he says, we're going to have made an enemy. I'm going to turn to the bookstore person. He doesn't have personal guards or anyone with him, does he?
Well, seeing as he was the emperor, probably.
The wait, emperor?
Oh, so that's probably why you didn't just go take back.
He
the-
goes, "Yes, he's a Clan Golmdor Blug. It's an ancient house, it's been ruling forever. The man's one of the most dangerous tieflings I've ever met. It's one of the reasons I really didn't fight back, or as the young dwarf here said, I didn't go take my forge back. I don't want to fight that man. Have you seen what he
Forge
can?
is cursed.
Have you seen what he can do to metal? The man can legitimately barely touch it, and it bends to his will. I watched him produce a full iron golem within minutes.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Yes.
I want to lead it, like, kind of pull Dulkin back and lead it and be like, this is a problem, Dulkin. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, but we
He's
got
not-
the information. We just gotta go tell the guy he's
That-
been mistaken.
What? We don't know where she's at, and there's clearly a moral dilemma between whose
I
child
trust Bill
it is.
Charisma in this case.
I'll look back to the book salesman. Like, does the old man actually have a daughter?
He thinks for a second. He's like, he might. I don't know. I mean, I know he had 3 sons, that all died.
But he thinks so. The fake Smith thinks your wife is gonna have his daughter, or is your wife his daughter?
No, he thinks he impregnated his maid, who happened to be my wife. Yes, my wife was a maid to his house before the first wave attacked. It was good money too. Serving nobility, especially the emperor, no matter how lowly as a servant, you still make very good gold. And she'd head over there for months on end and then return. One of the visits back, I got her pregnant before the first wave, and then she started showing while she was there. Apparently, he started going senile and thinking he was sleeping with her.
And you're... I'd hate to ask this, but you are certain they didn't actually sleep together and it is yours?
If they had, he'd be dead right now, or I would be. You really think I would just sit here, wait, and allow him to, be breathing?
Some suppose not. Is there a place where she once stayed, an old house of yours where you were staying?
She's in the house
Not your
behind
current
me.
house. Not your current house, an older house that you stayed in, perhaps not too long ago.
No, and we had property on the mainland, but it was a cheap shack.
Okay.
It was just enough for her to stay whenever she was working.
I see.
By the way, you can tell your tall elven friend over there that he needs a little delusional.
Yes, no, that's a problem we've been having lately.
He thinks he's immortal. He thinks he's the old Ven Zorwin of the old ancient times. The man who managed to bring the High Elves to their knees. Ugh. That man's been dead for centuries.
Please tell him the truth, please.
And then he gets
Yes,
all uppity about me trying to buy his changeling like they're anything better than third-class citizens.
Well,
Oh,
from what
please
I've
correct
seen,
him.
the changeling has more rationality and is more intelligent than he is at times. But yes, he has made those claims.
Ben is a lunatic.
Now,
I'm gonna kill her next. Zion, you're gonna get killed.
now, if
I'm
you
not gonna make him mad.
now, if you'll
You've
excuse
seen
me.
Vinzorwin get crushed by a boulder and come back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell him that.
fucking
What if he
own up
wants
to that.
immortal blood?
I'd sell it.
Now, if you'll, excuse me, if you're not buying anything here, I'd like to get back to my work. It's not much work. I mean, you can ask your dwarven friend here. Smithing is much better money, but books and information don't sell themselves these days.
What does he all have on display on his table?
There's about 4 books. They're all leather bound, all made of
Okay.
brown leather. And that's it.
Just books?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I suppose we should get going. Come on, Dulkin. Let's go meet up with the others.
All right.
Perhaps
Since everyone's just gonna sit.
discuss our
if I'm
next
within,
move.
if I'm within sightline of that blacksmith bookkeeper, I'm gonna just be standing there flipping him off.
Let's discuss our next course of action away from the smith, Dulkin. Out of earshot. Probably. Alright, and I'm gonna walk towards the others, but like stay a fair distance from the smith and like wave them over towards us, like
Alright.
meet us halfway.
As you guys start to head
I'll-
away from the head away from the market to more closer towards the church, you come to a little empty area right next to a well where no one seems to be walking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna grumble.
you-
I'm just gonna be grumbling about the damn fool.
We have a
Young
situation.
idiots.
It's not the daughter of the smith. It's the wife of the bookkeeper, who is a maid of his, who he delusionally thinks the child she's pregnant with is his. He also happens to be the emperor, or was the emperor, so he's very powerful. And so now our decision is sell out the maid in hopes the emperor doesn't kill us, or don't sell out the maid and the emperor will probably kill us. Now, I don't want
There's
to die.
option number 3.
Wait, that
blackmail
means
the
the
information.
maid is cheating.
No,
there-
he
there- there's-
believes
there's
it's
option number
hers.
3.
They had
There's
to
option-
fuck though.
There's option number 3 as well. We blackmail the bookkeeper with the information to get the information we need, as well as make sure that he understands that I am Benzoro.
Which is
'Cause I
what
will
the
kill him
emperor-
otherwise.
We have the information. The child the maid's pregnant with is what the emperor, the blacksmith, not really, is looking for. What's the point of blackmailing him other than the fact that you're huffy
Question.
puffy angry with him?
Question. 1, he wouldn't give me the information at all.
Oh,
He
he's
knows
pretty
about the 3,
forthcoming with
and he
information
won't give
for
it to
us.
me.
His wife's a cheater.
Hmm.
Who's fucking the
Perhaps-
blacksmith?
Maybe
not
we
actually
need
a
to
blacksmith.
visit
But
Dulkin.
if
the
he wasn't-
wife.
If he was an emperor, his main concern then would be payment for the child.
He needs an heir. He has no heirs. His son's died.
No. Old royalty is very particular. It might be his daughter, but he doesn't care. He'd be more worried about the dowry for it, the money. You guys pay that, and he's gonna fuck right off.
I am from a noble house. I know if there is no heir, it doesn't matter about the dowry. You need blood. It's part of the pride of nobility, the stupid pride. He needs, even if that blood is tainted with the blood of a maid or whatever, if it's his only heir, he will kill for it. It's an
Thank
old
you.
house, a
That's
dying
royal.
house.
As you
I
guys,
say we try to speak with the maid, the wife, and see if she did cheat. And if the child isn't the emperor's, then I suppose we have to try to tell him that. But if it is, then we give the information to him, and problem solved. We can go on with our chaotic life.
Let's take
That's
a
up to you
DNA
guys.
This is
What?
D&D.
Pop that baby
Alright.
out and take a DNA test.
so what's the plan here, players?
I say we
I wanna
try to see
strangle
if
a
we
bookkeeper.
can talk to the wife.
So Venzorin wants to commit suicide again. Zaya wants to go talk
Yep.
to the maid. All right.
Get the full story.
E2 and Dolkin.
I want to talk to the maid too. She's been cheating.
All right.
Apparently.
Dolkin, are you just gonna follow along, or do you have an opinion?
like
I'll
half
just
a
follow
step.
it too.
I'm like half a step from just going back to the Smith, not Smith, and be like, yeah, she's doing great.
I'll go with Dolkin actually, because I might be able to convince the
Well,
Emperor
if we
to-
don't give the emperor information, we could be assassinated because he's powerful. So I'm just saying.
Well,
All right.
He's also senile.
We're splitting up. I'm going with Dolkin. You two are going to the maid.
Okay.
Splitting
So,
up again.
As
The two tanks together.
as Zaya and E2 start
Something
to
happens, run.
as Zaya and E2 start to head off back towards the house, coming around the back towards where the actual entrance to the house is. knocking on the door. It's a simple shack, what you'd expect of a simple village wooden hut. As a very young woman comes to the door, about your age, Saya. A lot better off than you personally, given the fact that she seems to have lived her life in luxury. She's long purple hair. Her tail is very simple. It's got a little arrow instead of a full triangle on it. Her horns are a little bit longer than yours, and her skin seems to be more of a like a deep auburn. As she opens the door and she says, "May I help you? Are you friends of my husband?"
Yes, we have a situation we'd like to help work through, a problem solving. He told us you were here. We would like to help you out if possible. It's the situation with the, and she'll kind of glance around the side with the smith,
Oh,
the senile smith, apparently.
yeah, Golem the Second.
Yes.
No worries. Yeah, come on in. She opens the door and steps
Thank
back.
you so much.
Uh,
It's a relief to be in civilization again.
I'm gonna stay outside. I feel a little uncomfortable since I don't have Ven with me, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna behave like
Hang
a
on.
dog.
Okay. Itu, stay outside and keep an eye out, please. Thank you.
it's
I'll pretend she's
once for
also a
trouble.
dog.
all right. As the lady closes the door, she says, let me get you some tea real quick." And she goes to the little kitchen area. I mean, this is a one-room house, as you can see, as you sit down at the wooden table. She kind of starts brewing up some simple tea. Yes.
Can I make an Arcana check on her? I want to see if she has powerful magic or not. Perhaps like the Emperor's.
Okay. Feel free.
Because either she's actually related, or if the baby's related, they'll probably have magic.
Well,
And that is
Mhm.
22. 22 Arcana check.
All right. Yeah, she has strong magical presence coming off of her.
Like hers or a baby's?
From what you can tell, the magic is coming from her. It's coming from all over her. It seems to almost exude as a
Ooh.
sort of aura.
Can
Yes.
I was gonna ask, can I tell what type of magic it is? Like a particular.
It doesn't seem
Like-
to be. Whereas many mages who are very experienced with casting magic do tend to have a like a natural affinity. She does not. It doesn't seem that she actually knows how to cast spells, from what you can guess.
Oh, so.
So she sits down. She goes, "Oh yes, the whole issue was ridiculous. Are you sure you don't want your changeling friend to come in here?"
She's nervous. If she wants to sit out, I won't make her uncomfortable.
No worries. So what can I do for you? Did Golem give you issues?
The thing is, my friend, we were just he's a dwarf, and a dwarf bane assassin came after us. His armor got destroyed.
She looks
Due
at you
to
kind
the-
of with a kind of a, her eyes start to close a little bit as she's listening to your story.
Can I insight that?
Sure.
Like, is she just resting or magic?
Taking a nap.
She doesn't care. Okay, let me say. That's 17.
She seems to be taking a very for someone who's just a simple mage. She seems to be taking a very strong interest in what you're saying, as if she's paying attention to every little detail.
Okay, I see. So yes, we were just passing through. Of course, I'm a tiefling. I'd love to return to the tiefling lands. I have business here, but we ran into the trouble. She'd offered to guide us to tiefling lands with all the invasions. We want to be safe. So his armor was destroyed. We asked to use his smith. It took some convincing, and he agreed. But he said we needed to find his daughter, which, from the sounds of it, he was implying you were his daughter, and we needed to talk to the book salesman, your husband. But what your husband said
Holy
is he's a
smokes.
bit, the smith is a bit senile, and that it's a child you're pregnant with, and he thinks it's his heir. No nobility gets a bit.
She just smiles at you, and she
Yes,
goes,
a
"Oh, dearie, you need to take a second. Allow me to explain. Golem is not senile. Golem is older, yes, very old. In fact, one of our oldest emperors that's ever ruled. In fact, he's ruled since your grandfather, Bletton the Burning. But What you don't realize is, yes, Zilla, or is it Zia? I can never remember. I remember dancing with your cousins at one of the balls. But yes, I am his daughter. And yes, I am we have met before. Give me a perception check.
Oh boy, I knew it. She is his daughter. She's lying. Okay, perception. Hopefully, I roll good. 9.
As you
Me too.
suddenly feel something at your back, something very sharp, as it slowly moves its way to your throat, and she just smiles and says, "And yes, the assassin was a good friend of mine. I'm quite sad you managed to kill them. It's quite unfortunate that you managed to live. You're supposed to be dead."
I should have known nobility and politics. To be fair, she sort of killed herself. Suicide. The explosion. We didn't
Yes.
want to be a part of it, but I suppose you know how Calthun is. He's called the
Yes, and
destroyer
she
for a
puts her
reason.
hand over your mouth as a piece of metal kind of
Yep.
like staple
I
or
would like to
staples itself.
message. I would like to message Itu before this happens.
Okay,
Like cast message.
go ahead.
It's a range of 120 feet. One
Yep,
action.
I know how
I point
message
my
works.
finger. Yep. I'm gonna. Itu. It's a trap. I think she was sent to assassinate us. Get Dolkin and Zen quick and run away.
E2, as you're kind of sitting out there enjoying the lovely sunshine and the salty breeze on the air, it seems to be very quiet and relaxed overall as the day continues on. Zaya, as you cast message, no one seems to send anything back, but of course, nothing seems to be going on. The woman just kind of sits there and smiles and says, if you had just died like your little sister, or like your cousin, this would have been so much easier. God, your family has caused nothing but issues since your grandfather started that organization with his brother. Damn New Hope, if they hadn't been the ones that caused this whole situation, we wouldn't all be living over here. And with that, we will come back to it in a
Father?
second.
What?
Dolkin and Ven, as you walk up to the forge, heading over, you can see the smith shop is still open. The man is still hammering away, working, smiling, enjoying himself. He seems to mutter on occasion to himself, but it seems to be that would be pretty normal amongst a smith.
Hello,
Now that I'm
Smith.
looking at him better, would I recognize him as the Emperor?
Nope, you've never seen this man.
Hello, Smith. I'm back.
Ah, yeah, yes, the young dwarf. Good to see you. So, have
Yeah.
you brought news of my daughter?
Yeah, I talked
She's
to
in the
the
shack behind the bookkeep where he normally sits. I can take you there.
He looks
I
at the
talked
elf.
talked to the bookseller.
Uh-huh, yeah.
He said, his wife that is supposedly pregnant with your daughter. I lose the specifics. Everybody's doing fine. Doesn't seem like she's fine. She's healthy. Doesn't seem like there's any issues. Yeah, she's just hanging out at the bookseller's house.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, I appreciate the information. Your elven friend seems to be a little bit of the chatty sort, but yeah, thank you. I was quite curious on what happened with that whole situation. All right. Well, if you need more use of my forge, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to offer up the services as he continues to lightly hammer away at this iron hook.
No, I think I'm good for now.
Well-
Thanks for letting me use your forge.
Yeah. He smiles and says, "Oh yes, and if you happen to be heading to the tavern later this evening, let me know. We'll get around together. Maybe I can give you some good
we'll
pointers."
Probably be there. I think we're gonna get some rooms for the night, so we'll be around.
Sounds good. Thank you for the information, young man.
Yeah, you have yourself a good night.
He just waves and goes back to working.
Wow.
We're gonna head back to where we left the girls.
Heading back, we'll come back to you in a moment. E2, after about good 20 minutes, you can still hear what sounds like Zaya and that person talking. They seem to be chatting about the general like tiefling lands. Sounds like they're reminiscing about something or other as you're enjoying.
Nice.
overall, the day's going on, and you start to feel anxious that she's been in there for a good while.
I've been anxious. I've been anxious this whole time when I'm without Ben.
You assume by this point that Ven should be done with his job and should be back at where you guys left off. And Zaya seems to continuously be just enjoying chatting with this person. It seems to be rather peaceful in there.
I'm
Nice.
just gonna keep waiting outside.
All right, after another hour of them continuously chatting, it's still like nothing's going on. The sun is starting to go down. It's starting to get a little quieter around the area. People seem to be
It's
retiring.
cold. It's nighttime.
Yep, and they're still talking in there.
Damn. What's happened to me?
You'll find out
You're
soon.
dead.
Yeah. Alright. It was a good run. I shouldn't have gone in.
All right. Yeah. So as you continue to hear them chatting, is there anything you want to do, E2?
I don't know. I'm too nervous to go in, and I'm too nervous to leave.
All right.
I might want to go get Ben.
Okay. So as you start to get up and walk away, you start to hear what sounds to be a slight scuffle for a second off in the distance, back where Ven and last saw Ven and Dolkin. I almost called him Dorkin. That would have been bad. Heading that way, you can actually see that there seems to be a bar fight going on right outside the tavern, as two tieflings seem to be punching each other. Are you gonna continue to head towards the well where you last left Dolkin and Ven?
Yeah, I don't feel too good about this situation. I might start whimpering like a dog.
All right. It seems the bookshop has closed at this point. As you walk through, the market seems to have closed up. No one seems to be around except a few guards who are walking about, just kind of watching the fight. Heading over, you can see Dolkin and Ven have been standing around this well for almost an hour, looking very impatient and bored.
Oh, I run up to join Ben.
I
Alright.
pick her up and be like, okay, where's the other one? Where's Zaya?
Oh no, I got really nervous, and they were taking a really long time.
Let's go back to the
and
house.
it
I have
was
this
dark
bad
and
feeling.
cold.
I give her a pat. Let's go back and let's fetch her, because otherwise we're gonna have this issue of with her grandfather of I let her get killed and he's gonna shank me for it a few times, and I'd rather avoid that.
I mean, it's a balmy 70 degrees right now. I mean, during the day around these areas, it gets up to 80, 90, but yeah. Dolkin, are you going with him, or are you heading to the tavern?
I'll keep with the group.
Okay. Walking with Ven and E2 back towards the direction, you make it to the house, and the lights are off, whereas when last time you saw E2, all the candles were lit, and there are no
I'm gonna
voices.
knock.
It's gone silent. No
I'm
one
gonna
answers.
knock hard.
No one answers the door.
I'm gonna kick the door in.
All right, give me an attack roll. Let's see if you manage to hit the door.
Yeesh.
That plus my unarmed, it's hey, guess what? My unarmed isn't that bad. I got a 15.
Lots of jerking off motions. The door seems to kick open, and it looks like the shack has never been lived in. It looks like a fisherman's shack. There's a few nets, some rope. The smell of salt water is pretty strong in there. There's a few chests in there that are empty. Some iron hooks hanging on the wall with some what looks to be
Son of
fishing
a
bitch.
Bitch.
Do I
gonna
remember
cast-
it looking like this when I saw the door open?
No, it looked like an actual home. Not like a glorious, wealthy house, but
I'm gonna
let
immediately draw
Ben
my
and
short sword and
Dolphin
cast
know
light
this.
onto it.
okay. E2 explains this. Then casting light.
I make my sword light up.
The room
Short
lights
sword
up.
lights up.
Yeah.
Do I
Nothing.
see any marks of blood or anything on the floor?
Nope.
I just told you that the cabin, when I saw the door open, did not look like a fishing shack. It looked like a home.
Where the fuck is she?
Do you think it
Um,
could have been teleported?
Possibly Rakshasas again, possibly freaking assassins again.
I don't
Possibly the
know,
goddamn
it
gods
looked like
themselves.
A friendly lady.
It's the friendly ones you gotta watch out for. Been through too many fucking marriages to know that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take offense to this.
Hey. You're just the best one.
Oh, I'm
and
the
the
best
last
one out of
one-
all of them.
And the last one because he'll probably be dead before he gets to consummate the marriage. All right. So looking in the shed, I mean it's not run down. It's still well kept, but it looks like it's mostly used for equipment and storage. You can see a small, what looks to be a very tiny like rafting boat hung up on the wall, but otherwise nothing catches your eye of interest.
If they've taken her to the tavern, where would they go? Or where would she go?
The door? It must have been like open the door. Like the bar tavern that we went to, time traveling bar. It must have been like that.
I don't think it would have been that, otherwise we all would have sensed it just upon walking into this town. It's too small for that.
Dolkin,
Or
is
maybe
there
like a really tiny.
Dolkin, is there anything you want to do while looking at this shack?
I'm thinking I probably need a drink.
Me too.
Let's go to the tavern.
Forgets
We can
about
meet up with the
compatriots.
grandfather
Yes,
and
yes.
Go ahead.
Alcohol.
All right. Heading over towards the tavern, shutting the door the best you can as the lock is now busted.
Zara would get a little forceful.
The tavern is pretty well off. A lot of people seem to be smoking what smells like a very strong planty material that kind of wafts through the air, creating a thick layer of gray smoke at the very top. So to people like Ven, who are taller than average, it's pretty much all around his nose. But for the rest of you, it's not that bad.
Wait
Um,
a
I'm gonna
second.
cough a bit and then crouch down a little bit.
Okay.
Wait a second. If I was sitting outside, I
Mhm.
was sitting outside the cabin and I could hear them talking pleasantly.
Mhm.
I left and then I came back.
Mhm.
Are you sure we went to the right cabin?
You did. It was the same cabin.
And I'm guessing that walk took about 20 minutes.
No, not that. It was actually a pretty quick. This isn't a very large town, so I mean the houses are spread out, but the ones that are around the market are really close to each other. So, heading into the tavern, you can see that the old man, the old smith, is sitting in there, enjoying what looks to be a very dark liquid in a very small glass. With a few ice cubes, which many of you haven't, other than Ven, have never seen an ice cube. It's rather difficult to make.
I'm gonna rub my forehead and go, he's one of those guys.
You can see that there are many a tiefling sitting around drinking, enjoying themselves. A young woman with yeah, go ahead.
Do I see her grandfather?
Yeah, he's sitting. That's the man I was referring to as the smithing man. He seems to be sitting. Oh, Zaya's grandfather. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you do not.
I don't see him in here, so let's go talk to the smith. Maybe he'll have an idea what the fuck happened.
Ask him if the cabin is known to be relocating.
Walking over, he sees Dolkin and says, "Ah, you came, boy." And he looks at the bartender. "Another one." And as the barkeep just kind of nods, he comes over and sets a small glass, an actual fine glass vial, or cup in front of you, Dolkin, and pours in a very dark brown liquid, just to about a little over 2 shots worth, and then puts an ice cube inside of it and just nods and goes back to cleaning a glass as he walks away.
I whisper in Dolkin's ear, that block is ice. It's just cold. It's not poison. Don't worry.
It's a good alcohol. Clink.
And as you taste it, it's got a very wooded taste to it, and it has a very pleasant smell to it. It's almost like it's been aged for a good while in a very heavy barrel.
Oh, this shit's good.
The man god says, "Only the best. You gotta enjoy yourselves while you can." What can I do you for, though? It looks like you lot have some questions.
I just do like an arm motion to Ven and just keep drinking.
Barkeep comes over and the smith kind of nods as he starts to pour Dolkin another. The old man looks at Ven expectantly.
I'm gonna motion to have her explain it because I'm just gonna be having a headache from the smoke.
Okay. He looks down to the little dog and says, "Ah, changeling, haven't seen your lot around here in a long time."
Hi. I know. Hi. Excuse me. But we seem to have run into a problem when we were checking in on that girl that you told us about.
Yes, my daughter.
We went to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends the one that you hate got abducted, and I was wondering if the cabin is known to relocate itself, or if the daughter has some insane magic abilities. This seems to be a really big problem. I'm sorry for bothering you.
He looks at you and kind of smiles and says, changelings, what an interesting imagination you lot have. As he goes to take another drink.
That's the only answer?
Yes, my daughter has a lot of magic, just like I do. It's to be expected. As far as, teleporting doors, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of a teleporting door.
Teleporting door? You open the door, it leads to one place, you close it, and then open it again, and it leads to another place.
Sounds like one of the mythical things that you hear about in storybooks. No, never heard about something like that. As far as it goes, I mean, I know my daughter has a lot of magic. Maybe her husband took off with her.
Oh dear.
The man that you told me was engaged to.
I don't know what to do. How do we locate Zaya?
Man continues to drink and enjoys and pulls out what looks to be a very large cigar and lights it up.
I wanna see what Zaya's up to. Don't worry about us. Go back to Zaya's point of view.
Alright, Dulkin and Ven, either of you have anything else you want to ask the Emperor?
No,
Enjoying your drink.
I'm on 1 HP in a dream.
Give me a little sip.
Alright, and Ven, I assume, is just trying not to die like normal.
Dulkin, I thought I healed you
I'm gonna
before we
bring it
arrived at
up.
the village.
No.
Did you?
To
Yeah.
him.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go
bring
ahead.
up the burning tree to him, and then I'm gonna bring up New Hope.
He looks at you and says,
Very cautious.
I'll answer the first question. He says, no idea about a burning tree. I've set trees on fire, as he kind of takes a big puff of his cigar. And how are you going to ask him about the New Hope thing?
I'm gonna
Be very careful.
Zaya's grandfather.
Blenton the Bloodied?
Yep.
Or the Burning, sorry. The Burned, that's
Blenton
it.
the Burning, my old buddy, Blenton the Burning.
He looks at you and says, yes, the head of House Silversong. Last I heard, he's in town somewhere, but otherwise, no, I don't know much. I hear his daughter's around here somewhere, though. She's been working along with a couple of the merchants and such. And he just kind of goes back to smoking his cigar and having a drink. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, Ven? I'm going to take it by you being muted. That's a no. Alright, jumping over to Zaya. Zaya, after...
Nope.
Okay. After sitting or having your mouth closed up, it seems that the woman seems to cast some sort of magic, and you suddenly see what looks to be an illusionary spell of two people, both you and the woman that's now standing off from the chair, talking to each other very pleasantly. It sounds like you're
Yep.
catching up. As you're suddenly kind of picked up by the figure behind you as the knife is removed, and you find your arms, your hands, and your feet almost completely bound, and your tail bound to your waist as well. Yes.
I tell what race it is of the person holding me.
You're not sure, but they're very large, from what you can see on their hands,
Does it
and their hands are
feel-
green colored.
An orc?
You're not. You have no idea. You've never seen one this close before without running away from it.
Yep.
So as it kind of this large figure seems to almost pick you up with one hand as it kind of gets its hand almost all the way around your waist. The woman starts to quietly, almost silently chant something, and suddenly you find yourself inside of a room, a very dark room, with stone or cobbled floors, a wooden roof above you, and a few strong beams around you and what looks to be a few casks of some sort of liquid off to the side. And the woman
I didn't want to enter the village.
And the woman just sits next to you and says, now that we've gotten some alone time, let's talk about your friends, the New Hope. And before you think of screaming for help, I've already have this room enchanted to where no sound will escape it. So, as she pulls the metal off not too gently, she smiles and says, tell me what you know of your organization.
They are a group of, you could almost say, misfits, spies, assassins, magic users, usually more, I guess, stealth. They just don't like, I guess, the way of government, the way of life that was happening before the invasion of the mainland. People just, like most secret organizations, I'm not the highest ranking member. I haven't been told much. In fact, I don't even know who the leader is or his horsemen, as they're called. It's all very hush hush.
Alright, shut up, darling. Okay, I've heard all this. As you kind of start to notice, there's a few skeletons that are pretty fresh all around you.
Yeah.
She looks at you and says, you're telling me you didn't know that your grandfather started this organization?
I know. If that's true, then it's a big surprise to me, and if it's fake,
you stupid little girl. Gosh, we nabbed the wrong one yet again. Ay. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna kill you on principle, so I'm just gonna inform you so you can you can make peace with your life. Your people managed to make a deal with some sort of new race that they have been discovered, a group calling themselves the Rakshasa. They arrived on the mainland, they wiped through and killed as many nobility as they could, and your grandfather's supposedly at the head of the whole situation. It was supposedly to get rid of my father, as well as my brothers, that way it would destabilize the country. The problem is the Rakshasa decided to, of course, take over and started hunting us down until we had to leave to the mainland. Now we're all stuck here in the colonies. So because of that, we're hunting down you lot. And yes, I sent an assassin after you because I was hoping that I would be able to catch you so I could find out where your cousin is. Because your grandfather seemed to have vanished, but your cousin hasn't. She's still alive somewhere and would be excellent use.
Tikva Silversong, my cousin who died a while ago, sent by another assassination.
Shut up, you stupid little girl. She's not dead. The scaled bones didn't kill her. They captured her. They knocked her unconscious after her group was killed. That was all by my orders. God, you're dumb. And you're supposed to be a spy. Alright, well, I guess you can stay down here and starve for the time being. You're not going to be of an issue. And I've got better things to do. Maybe I can catch one of your friends and use you as bait. The orc here has got an order to eat you if you do anything of issue, so please just keep your mouth shut and don't move. As she kind of starts to chant and teleports out of the room.
So, can I see the figure?
He's standing behind you from what you can tell.
Okay, can I look back at him?
As you kind of turn your head, you see this very large, very ugly looking green orc with one tooth kind of hanging out of his mouth, kind of sitting up in an upright formation, ugly battle scars all over his face and arms. He's wearing simple leather armor that seems to be emblazoned with the noble house of Dwarfsbane on it, surprisingly, and has a cleanly shaved head and seems to be just watching you.
Does he seem to be here of his own will, or like he's being mind controlled by the lady?
You don't know.
Can I do an Arcana check on him?
Sure.
Alright. No pressure, I just could die.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's 18.
It's at this point you do notice something that is giving off a strong magical presence. So there's a small, what looks to be, what you thought first was a fashion statement, turns out to be a magical collar around his neck.
Ooh. Okay, how secure does the collar look?
Well, it's well buckled in and the buckle is melted together, so And it
Mm,
seems to have
Does it
runes going all the way around it.
does it seem like it's protected magically or just is emitting magic?
Just emitting magic.
Okay. How sentient, like how aware does his eyes look when he's watching me? Does he look
He's
conscious
following
or
every
kind of...
single movement you're making.
Okay. Let me see. I guess. So, is this a fun job? And I'm gonna ask him that in common, see if he understands common.
It doesn't seem to speak.
Okay. Infernal then? And I'll ask that in Infernal.
It still doesn't speak.
Well, I guess I shouldn't expect much. You seem to be, what, mind controlled by that collar, maybe? Forced into slavery? Guess you wouldn't be the first. Tiefling nobles. Tieflings, I guess. We're kind of harsh, aren't we? And I'll smile, kind of smile at him, bit of sarcastic.
It makes no movement, and its face does not change from the hard stare.
But he's watching me intently, right?
Correct.
Does there seem to be anything magical about his eyes, or
Nope.
no?
The only thing that's giving off magic on him is that you do notice he is wearing a sword, but it doesn't seem to, it seems to be a simple short sword with no magic.
Okay, and I'm still tied up really tightly. What material am I tied up with?
From what you can tell, the material, it's just a simple hemp rope that you're tied up with.
And when I look around the room, you said there were like barrels or kegs of something.
Correct.
Can I tell what it is?
From the smell of it,
it
smells, yeah, from the smell of it, it's pretty strong that it's alcohol in the room.
Alcohol. How much alcohol?
These are pretty large casks. They're bigger than you. You can't get a clear sight because there's not much light in this room.
Okay, hang on. I want to... Okay, hang on. I want to cast Detect Thoughts, and I want to just generally detect around, see if I can sense thoughts, see if I'm maybe in the basement or the cellar of the tavern.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Oh, wait,
Okay.
sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. As you cast it, no thoughts are heard. Not even from the orc.
No, so it's magically blocked. Can I try to focus on the orc?
As you do, nothing seems to happen. There's no thoughts. It's silent.
Okay, so he's definitely mind controlled. Probably.
Or he's really dumb.
Me. There's also that. Really dumb.
Coming back from you, Dolkin and E2, as you are enjoying the evening and it goes on, it seems to be quiet. Much of the tieflings seem to chat and joke. Most talking in Infernal. A few whispers here and there that you pick up that are about the New Hope organization, but nothing that seems to lead you towards anything. As the evening continues to get later and later, the smith seems to head back towards the general direction of where his smithy is. Is there anything you would like to do, like rent a room, or do you just plan to pass out on the floor?
The New Hope was supposed to have a meeting here, correct?
Yep, and it's supposed to be tonight.
Well, where are they?
Good question.
Maybe they come late at night. Or maybe there's a secret back room. I'm not too bright.
Dolkin?
I'll get a room.
The man says nods to you and asks for 15 coppers.
Easily.
I'm gonna sleep at the end of Dolkin's bed.
Alright. Dolkin, anything else you needed?
Nope, that'll be it.
Alright, heading up to the bed as the night goes on. taking your drink with you, I assume. E2 seems to follow you up, Ven continuing to choke on the smoke downstairs, sitting. Alright, and then one last thing from Zaya. Is there anything you want to do before I call the session tonight?
Yes, I have an idea I want to try. Let
Okay.
me just relook over the spell. Okay. Yeah, I want to try to cast Dispel Magic on the collar the orc is wearing.
Alright, and what level are you
If
casting that?
it's I'm casting at 3rd level. If the spell is above 3rd level, I have to make a check with a DC 10 plus the spell's level.
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. Let's hope I do good. Okay, I got a 5, nat 1. This
So
is fun.
15 in total. Nothing seems to happen. As the night starts to come on, you start to get more and more tired. You can hear the mumbling of voices off in the distance, and that is where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Come back next time to see if Zaya ends up dead, if Venzorwin ever returns, if E2 decides she'd prefer Dulkin, and if Dulkin ever figures out the true answer of whether or not he is actually truly a domain smith. Thank you for watching.